We have my 3 people, 3.5 people.
Okay. Alright, I want you to think about what you have on your Thanksgiving dinner table. You have your meat, your main course, you have your vegetables, your sides, your green bean casserole, stuffing, and then you have your desserts, most of which include either meat or eggs or dairy or all 3. And we assume that it's okay for us to eat these things because the FDA says that it's okay. And we assume that nothing bad is put into our food that we eat. But we don't really know, we don't really always know what we're eating exactly, or that it's good for us. As a practicing vegan for almost a year, I know from personal experience we don't eat any type of animal products such as milk, eggs, honey. We don't tend to wear clothes made out of wool or silk or leather. And some of the reasons why we do this, first of all, veganism can help to reduce or reverse most health issues, if not a majority of the health issues. Also, veganism can help our environment by reducing the need to shelter animals used for their products. The first topic I'd like to talk about today, what does a carnivorous diet result in? Well, carnivorous diets result in high blood pressure, diabetes, sometimes cancer, bad vision, and obesity. The CDC says 1 in every 3 adults are obese in America, and also that only 3.2% of America is vegetarian. When we cross-reference that to India, where the vegetarian population is between 20 and 42% of the entire population, they only have 1 in every 20 citizens being obese. I know that vegetarianism isn't exactly veganism, but I think that it's a very strong indicator that that plays into obesity in your diet. As far as our environment, the National Geographic says that in the last 40 years, 20% of the rainforests have been cut down. And of that 20%, 90% is currently being used to raise livestock that provide meat, dairy products, and eggs. That is a huge percentage out of the what seems small 20%. The 90% of that goes towards sheltering for carnivorous diets. Also, to do with our environment, bees being tampered with result in them not wanting to pollinate our crops. And as I said, vegans go as far to not interfere with nature as not wearing wool or silk or leather. Carnivorous diets don't just affect our health and our waistlines and our life expectancy, but they also affect primitive tribes in countries that don't have voices loud enough to speak for themselves. It also affects the ecosystem in these countries, resulting in endangerment and even extinction of certain species. To understand these effects, we spoke about the health benefits of a vegan diet and how they directly contrast with carnivorous diets. So maybe knowing these facts will make us think twice before we, eat our next meal that has meat in it, or our next glass of milk. These things can seem, so small and minuscule 20%, but really, I mean, 20% of our world is, you know, like entire North American continent. So maybe knowing